Welcome to my Asshole Podcast. Let's get into it. All right. Today is Tuesday. It is a beautiful Tuesday. Great for another episode. Boy, do I got a juicy little thread for you. And we have some pretty interesting scenarios to go through that you, the lovely people, have sent to moi. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right. Our thread is, what's the biggest lie that you have fallen for? Oh, man. I know we've fallen for some lies out in this bitch. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Thought you loved me. No, I'm just kidding. All right, our first one. What's the biggest lie you fall for? I'm not having an affair. I think I'm asexual. My ex-wife, who certainly was having an affair and not in the slightest bit asexual. Damn. She was asexual to you. She was asexual to you, brother. God damn. She was like, the coochie don't react to you at all. That's it. That's just what it is, man. You know what I mean? She was like, Chad Thundercock, though? Yes, that guy over there, man, he gets the water of flowing. I'm just going to be real. God damn, man. And it sucks because when you're in that kind of position as a guy, you're just like, oh, yeah, of course, babe. Okay, yeah, I love you. Dang, you're asexual. Let's work through this, you know. Woo! Oh, and then, you know, it happens and you get that 2020 hindsight and you're like, oh, fuck. Oh, brother. All right. What's the biggest lie you've fallen for? If you tell me the truth, I won't get mad. Yeah. Or when they be like, oh, I got to tell you something, but don't get mad. And, you know, and then they're like, yeah, okay, I won't get mad. Yeah. Yeah. Facts. A lot of times you get with the truth, you just got to rip that Band-Aid off and just tell it to them. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because we be out here lying like that. And, I'm not going to get mad. Just tell me the truth. And then they tell you and then you crash out like crazy. And it's like, ooh. And it sucks because, you know, you crashing out, you the only one that look crazy, you know? That shit, yeah. What's the biggest lie you've fallen for? We value you as our employee, and the people working here are the most important to us.
Stop the cap.
Facts. Fuck that shit. They don't give a fuck about you. And I ain't sitting here telling you something you don't already know. All right, don't get it twisted. Don't think I'm out here telling people, you know, some information they don't already know. I guarantee you're driving to your job right now like facts, and they don't give a fuck about me. You know, and you got that one person that's just like, yeah, facts. I gotta go to work while I'm sick, and I'm just like, facts. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Because there be days where I'm like dead sick, dead tired, you know, and muscles aching and shit. And I'm just like, I got bills to pay, you know. They don't give a fuck about me. They don't care. And then if I use my PTO, they get mad that I use PTO. I'm like, yo, come on, man. That's my paid time off. And you give it to me expecting me not to use it, which I think is the dumbest shit ever. Is the dumbest shit. I get it. They give it to you because they have to. You know what I mean? They have to, by law, give you paid time off. I don't know how much it is, but I'm sure there's a certain amount of time off that they have to give you that's paid and stuff. Same thing with sick time and all that crap. But it's one of those things where it be pissing me the fuck off that I get like paid time off, and then they're like, why are you using it? It's like, well, what do you mean? Because I have it. Like, what? I thought you would value, you know, my health, and you would let me take some paid time off. Like, what the fuck are we talking about here, man? Y'all acting like y'all getting the short end of the stick here. Like, nah. I've been getting bent over by Uncle Sam with my taxes. All right? It's bad enough I got to take it from y'all, too. Like, damn. Oh, I feel it, bro. I feel it. That is the biggest lie I've ever heard. God damn, son. God. All right. Let's see. When I was a kid, I would often drive a town over to visit my cousins. One of the roads passed through some ponds, one of which had a particular looking branch that had fallen over. I always noticed it. Would point it out to everyone in the car, and one day my dad said it was just a Kronkomigator as a joke, since he had just watched some Crocodile Dundee before heading out. Okay, sure. In my head, it made sense. I knew how alligators could lay dormant for months at a time with a low heart rate, so the fact it wouldn't move just meant that he was hibernating. Years go by, parents split, my dad passes away. Still look out for the Crockomigator. Okay. Get to high school, still looking out at the pond to look at this fallen tree, not really remembering why. Then one day, I'm like 19, my mom, brother, and I are driving on the same road. I instinctively check the pond, and it's not there. The memories flooded back, and I say, God damn it. My mom asked me what's wrong, and it took me a bit to stop laughing, but I explained the story of the Crockomigator. And we all laughed at how silly looking log in the water, and my dad managed to trick me for years. That's crazy. So I guess apparently there was this pond, and there was a log that was just floating in it, and he was just like, that's an alligator. Yeah, that's a crocodile. You know, you tell kids stuff like that, so they're like, oh my God. You know what I mean? You give them a little white lie and let them believe something. And he just kept believing it over and over and over again. And before you know it, he was just like, well, you son of a bitch, paint me yellow and spank my booty, however the saying goes. That motherfucker was lying to me. At least they got a good laugh out of it, and it wasn't like a malicious lie or anything like that. But still, I find that to be funny. Oh, man. I find that to be funny. All these years, man. All right, what's the biggest lie you've fallen for? When I was a kid, my siblings convinced me that Medusa lived in our attic. That's crazy. That's absolutely wild. Why would you do some shit like that to a kid? Because now you're about to paralyze that kid for the rest of his fucking life. Anytime he sees an addict, he's just going to be like, yeah, Medusa live up in that bitch. You know, he's telling all the kids and stuff like that. Like, man, there's going to be that one fearless kid that is just like, I swear I saw something, you know, because he went up there thinking nothing was actually up there. And then he sees a shadow of some bullshit, and he's just like, I swear I saw something. Like, nah, man, like, come on. Hey, what are we doing here? I ain't gonna lie though, I fell for, there was a video I saw of like a snake in the toilet, and like, I shouldn't be admitting this, but I mean, to this day, a lot of times, you know, before your boy take a dump, I look, and I'm like, is there a snake in my toilet? That's a lie I fell for. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was like, hey man, because I saw one video, and then I had asked somebody, I was like, yeah, can that actually happen? And they're like, oh yeah, it's possible, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, oh shit. So, you know, ever since then, you know, I've always thought like there's a snake in the toilet, you know, that, and like the alligators in the sewer shit, you know what I mean? And they eat your dookie and stuff. I don't know if anybody else has ever gotten that as a kid. Like I did. I believe that. I for the longest time believed there was alligators in the sewers. For the longest fucking time. Oh man. All right. What's the biggest lie you fallen for? Ex-wife telling me how disgusting cheaters are and how they are the scum of the earth. Guess why I'm divorced? Damn, son. Damn. She's over here just like, cheaters are horrible. Fucking deplorable people. How? You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Absolutely terrible. Hey, come on, man. Like, what are we doing here? Hey, come on. You gonna tell me all this shit and then you gonna go out and do the same thing? Like, just leave me. Just leave me. Just say, hey, I don't want to be with you no more. You know? Like, Tyrone got the better deal. Like, just let me know. God damn. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? That's crazy. All right, what's the biggest lie you fallen for? I will never lie to you ever again. I knew that was a lie, but I chose to fall for it. Damn, self-blame goes hard now. Yeah, it happens. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's a lot of times where it's just like, you say these things and hope that it's true, and hope that it's true. I ain't gonna lie to you. I probably have said that a time in my life. I ain't gonna lie. And, because the whole time I was thinking, I'm like, have I ever said that? And I'm like, I'm sure I have. I just can't remember, So I'm kind of guilty of this one. You know what I mean? Lock me up, throw away the key, because I've probably been guilty of this one. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's just the way it is, Like, it's just, it happens. It happens, man. Damn. All right, what's the biggest lie you fallen for? I got told I love you by a girl I had a crush on once, but apparently she loved everyone else too. Damn. Oh. Like the mixed bag of emotions that you would go through. Imagine, the girl you was just fiending over. You're like, oh, that's my type. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And then she's just like, oh my God, I love you. You're so great, blah, blah, blah. And you're just like, oh yeah? I'm that guy? Me? Oh, you stop it. And you all happy. You giddy as a motherfucker. And then you hanging out. It's you and, Chad and Brett and all the others, and Brad and everybody. And I don't know her, she's over here. Brad, you're so funny. I love you. And you're just like,
she belongs to the streets.
Fuck this bitch, man. I don't love her no more. What the fuck are we talking about? You told me you love me. What the fuck? Now you love Brad and you love Brett. Like, what the fuck, man? Who you love next, Tyrone? Like, goddamn. It just, yeah. It's funny because in high school, I used to get that a lot. Like, there'd be a lot of girls who, they didn't really know the meaning of or not really the meaning, let's not say that, but like the heaviness of the word love. So they would just be like, oh my God, I love you, da 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 da. And you're, as a dude, you're kind of like, oh shit. Because my mom has always told me, like, if a girl, like you like that, she's like, she's going to use some heavy verbiage. And you like, oh, yeah, you using heavy verbiage with your boy? Oh, yeah, okay. And then you find out she kind of uses that with everybody else, and you're just like, all right, man, whatever. Like, I ain't, whatever, dog. It don't hurt, You got a little thug tear coming down, while you going home. Facts. That was me a lot. More times than I like to admit. It's just, it is what it is. Whatever. All right, what's the biggest lie you fallen for? That each second between lightning and thunder is a mile. It was in my third year of physics degree before I learned my entire life was a lie. It's 5 seconds per mile, by the way. All right. You learn something new every day, man. You can't say this show is not educational. There you go. Bloom, doom, doom, doom. The more you know. All right, what's the biggest lie you fallen for? That getting a master's in STEM field would get me a great salary job. Yeah. I feel it. I was in the same boat. I went to college thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to get a great job. Nope. You know what I mean? They were just like, nope. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's fantastic. And it was funny because I did a lot of the little internship things where you get job experience. You get paid in job experience, because a lot of jobs are like these fucking catch-22s where they're like, oh, you need job experience, but it's like, how do you get job experience if you can't get the job? You know what I mean? So they have these little programs that you can sign up for, whatever, and you can get paid in job experience. And I even did that, and I logged at least a year and a half of job experience. And then they're like, oh yeah, your resume is great and it's fantastic, we'll definitely call you back. And then it's 2 months later, and I'm like, all right, these niggas ain't calling me back. But yeah, it's rough out there, man. It's rough out there. I mean, I like the job that I'm in now. It's not too bad, but, I definitely would love to have gotten a job for what I went to school for, you know what I mean? And, but yeah. And, if you're curious on what I went to school for, I did animation and design. I wanted to make cartoons. That's what I wanted to do. Like Family Guy and, American Dad and stuff like that. I wanted to be an animator, and that's what I wanted to do, because I always watched those kind of shows. Like, even as a kid, I used to like to draw and make the little flip books, where you'd flip it and it would like make the little scene and stuff like that. I love that stuff. I was always into it. Even in high school, I did graphic design. I didn't really like graphic design too much, but I knew that doing graphic design was very similar to what I wanted to do. And so once I was able to go into college, I was able to do that. And so it was a lot of fun. It was really cool. And you get to kind of be creative and create characters and make them move and do shit that you want them to do. And it's really cool. It's just a cool thing to do. I would have loved to have gotten a job with that, but it didn't happen. So it is what it is. You know what I mean? So that's why when he said that, I was just like, facts, brother, facts. Now you're working a job that, you kind of semi-hate, but it is what it is because it pays well. All right. What's the biggest lie you have fallen for? You're going to scare the fish away. Shut up. Yeah, they just want you to be quiet, man. All right. What's the biggest lie you have fallen for? Don't remember the biggest lie, but my dad has a bald spot. And when I was a kid, he told me, my siblings, that he got it from going to bed while chewing gum and they had to cut it out the next day. You bet your ass none of us went to bed with gum after that. Hey, sometimes you gotta lie to your kids, bro. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta lie to your kids, because what I've noticed with kids nowadays is you can't tell them something and they're like, oh, okay. You have to make it seem like something crazy is about to happen to them. Like, if you don't brush your teeth, all your teeth are going to fall out and you can never eat candy ever again. You're going to have fake teeth like your grandpa, and they're like, what? For real? Or you gotta tell them that, like, if you don't shower or something, nobody's going to ever talk to you again or some shit. Like, you have to be so up there with kids. It's crazy to me. Like, when I see my best friend and how he like raises his daughters and stuff like that, he has to go to these fucking extremes to get them to do shit. You know what I mean? It's like, no, you can't do that or else your finger's gonna get chopped off. And I'm like, nigga, she's just playing with the thing. And he's just like, I gotta go that far or else she's not gonna fucking listen. So I gotta like threaten, her imminent death or the loss of a limb in order for her to fucking listen. And I guarantee you all the parents listening to this right now, they're like, yeah, facts. And it's I'm not blaming you. I'm not thinking that's a bad parenting tactic. All I'm saying is it's like, wow. Because I remember when I was a kid, my dad would tell me some shit and I would just be like, all right, and I would just kind of do it. And then, some stuff you'd realize when you're older, you're like, that nigga was lying. But then some stuff you're kind of just like, you know what? He was actually telling the truth. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, if I don't brush my teeth, I can't eat candy because my teeth are going to fall out, And I remember the first time, like, my dad said that to me and then I lost my first tooth. I freaked the fuck out. I was like, oh, shit. I was like, is this because I didn't brush my teeth? And my mom was like, no, it's okay. Your teeth are coming back. It's fine. This is just what happens. And I was just like, is this going to happen to every single tooth? And they're like, no. It just happens to, the few front and you're good. You're all right. And I'm just like, okay. Yeah, but I get it though. You got to go to those extremes to get them to do shit you want them to do. But, it is what it is. All right. What's the biggest lie that you have fallen for? That a fat guy in a red suit traveled the entire world in one night in a sleigh pulled by magic flying reindeer, delivering presents to all the good kids, but only the good kids. Bad kids can get bent, and he knows who is who because he's always watching. Facts. Santa was probably one of the things that Santa and the Tooth Fairy. Santa and the Tooth Fairy were two things that I did not want to let go. But then it sucks because the Tooth Fairy got ruined for me because I felt my mom put her hand under the blanket, the pillow. Yeah, because I had woke up. And I woke up, right? And I had to go to school that day, but I didn't want to go to school that day. And so then my mom, is just like, oh, make sure you get up, blah, blah, blah. And then like, I got up, but then I went back to bed because I didn't want to go to school. So I was just like, maybe I should just like pretend like I'm sleeping or whatever so I can get a little more sleep. But then my mom realized, oh shit, I forgot to swap out, the tooth for the dollar. And so then I felt her hand go up in there and grab it and then, leave the dollar or whatever. And I was just like, the tooth fairy ain't fucking real. Damn. It's funny because I didn't tell my mom that day. I told my mom like years later about that story. And she was like, you let me believe. And I was just like, hey, I didn't want to hurt you. You know what I mean? I'm over here like fucking 8 and shit. I'm over here 8 worrying about hurting my mom, finding out that she's a tooth fairy and shit, but at the same time, it's just like, I think parents enjoy that as much as the kids do because it's like their parents kind of get to be this, I don't know, almost superhero in a way, it's kind of one of the, like, think about it like Superman, you know what I mean? When he goes and be Superman and he does his good deed and then he's Clark Kent. And then he's, in his glasses, reading in the newspaper about what Superman did. Or some people are like, oh my God, did you see Superman? You know what I mean? It's that kind of feeling. And so for me, even as a young age, I guess I just understood that and was like, nah, same thing with like with Santa, you know what I mean? But the reason why I knew it was Santa is because, I saw my mom wrapping presents late at night. I mean, it was like 1, 2 in the morning and she was wrapping presents and stuff. And I got up because I was thirsty and I caught her and I was like, Santa's not real, Yeah. But I mean, it's like, I like those little things. And that's definitely something I'm going to do with my kids just because it's like, it's fun and it's kind of enjoyable. I get it. Other kids be fucking it up for kids. And that's what be pissing me off. I'm like, hey man, tell your kid to shut up if they know the truth. All right. Let my kid believe and as long as they want. You know what I mean? I want them to make lists. I want them to, do all that stuff. That way them little niggas be good at the end of the year at least. Hey, shit. All right. I'm going to do 2 more. What's the biggest lie you've fallen for? I convinced my sister that the word Mormon was a very bad word. I was 11. Okay. I wonder why Mormon. Like, don't get me wrong. Mormon people are kind of crazy, but you know what I mean? It's like, if they believe that though, and they're like, oh yeah, that kid's Mormon or whatever. And they're like, oh my God, that's a bad person, like they would just kind of assume that. And you really wouldn't want to put that into somebody's head, you know what I mean? Like, hey, all right, this is gonna be our last one. What's the biggest lie that you've fallen for? Decaf removed caffeine from my body. Y'all, I know what it is. I believe decaf was a way to remove caffeine from the human body. Believed. I mean, I'm not a big coffee drinker, so I don't know. I always believed that decaf meant more. and I remember one of my friends, he was like, are you stupid? And I'm like, what? I thought decaf meant you're putting more caffeine in it. And they're like, no, decaf pretty much is just like no caffeine or less caffeine. And I'm like, oh, well, I don't drink coffee. I don't fucking know. I pound energy drinks, man. You know what I mean? I get my caffeine like a real man. All right? You go double clasping, motherfucker. Like, get out of here. Like, man, I don't drink coffee just because I can't stand the smell of coffee. It's weird because I enjoy the taste, but I don't like the smell. And the smell of it is what makes the taste then bad for me. It's weird, like if I can't smell it and I just taste it, the coffee is amazing. But if I smell it and then taste it, it's just terrible. I'm so weird with that. I don't know why. That's why I be, if I do get coffee or whatever, you know what I mean? I get shit with like vanilla in it or with caramel in it and shit like that. So that way I smell the vanilla or I smell the caramel and I don't really smell the coffee necessarily. and then it makes it taste good for me. But yeah, and then I can't really have caffeine like that, man. You know, the caffeine to me is like a fucking laxative. I drink some caffeine, it's not even an hour later. It's not even 30 minutes later. It's like 5, and your boy is on the toilet just doo-dooing. It's like that shit cleans me out, you know. And sometimes I'll drink it just to like, you know, if I feel like, man, I haven't boo-booed today yet, you know, I'll drink some caffeine. Woo, you best believe in the next 5 to 7 minutes, your boy is on the toilet, letting it rip. And booty hole like blades. Like, god damn, son. Just saying. All right, that's going to go ahead and be that thread. You guys let me know what you think about that thread down in the comments below. If you have something that has been a biggest lie that someone has told you, or you know, you believed or whatever, put it down in the comments. Love to read it. Appreciate it when you guys get involved with the threads and with the show. All right, I'm going to shoot through announcements as fast as possible so we can get on to you beautiful people's scenarios that got sent in to moi. Patreon.com/My Last Will Podcast. Get that exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your scenarios to be featured on the Tuesday, Today, and Sunday shows. If you're an audio listener, keep downloading the podcast as well as rating us 5 stars. If you haven't already, it does help out the show. If you've downloaded and you've rated us 5 stars already, well, hey, you the GOAT, and you know, you one of them. But if you want to help out even more on the free 99 side of things, go ahead and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, as well as YouTube. All the links, we got that stuff in the description. For Thursday, for Haunting Adeline and the other books that we've gone through, I do have links to playlists down there. I try to update them as much as I possibly can. Sometimes on the Spotify playlist, I do be behind. My bad. Sorry about that. But I do be trying to update them as much as I can. It should be updated as of recording this. I should have Haunting Adeline and everything updated. I'll always double check right after the show to make sure that everything is updated for you guys. So, also the free Patreon day episodes that we have one each month. We now have a full year of free Patreon episodes from January to December, baby. All right. So we got a full 13 episodes in there. And yes, I said 13 because in June we did 2. We did the free June episode, and then we did one for my birthday. That was like my birthday present to you guys on my birthday. You know what I mean? And so, but yeah, get in there, check that out. Check out those episodes. There's literally whole 13 episodes in there, and if you like what you hear, what you see, whatever it is that you're doing, however you're consuming the podcast, if you like that, think about going on to Patreon, man, checking it out and being a part of the community over there. So without further ado, let's get into today's scenarios. All right, okay, our first one: overheard having sex. Am I wrong? Okay. My husband, 29 male, and I, 29 female, made a big mistake over Thanksgiving weekend, and I'm not sure how to handle it. We hosted 2 families at our home on Sunday. After the last group headed for the airport, we took the opportunity to get intimate in our bedroom. Ooh, makalaka. We didn't realize 2 things. 1, my niece, 14 female, was still in the house. And 2, the baby monitor was in our room and active. Aw, shit. They heard a lot more than the baby crying in that monitor. Let's just say that. You know what I mean? Like, all right. I didn't learn about this until 3 days later when my niece texted me to confess that she had heard us over the speaker in the other room. I was obviously shocked and asked her what she heard, and she said everything. Okay. My husband and I were obviously mortified and racked our brains to remember what she may have heard. Basically, sorry if this is TMI, it was me asking him if he wanted a BJ. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. And I bet you she was saying it all sultry like too, like, ooh, you want a BJ? Yeah. Oh, man. Woo! That would be, I would be like, how do you turn this off? Hearing your auntie say that, bruh, no. I'd be like, how do I turn this off, please? Oh my God. Woo! Me giving him one, me asking him to return the favor, my orgasm, me having sex with him, and a couple of other things I don't want to type. Girl, woo! Oh my God. You can just hear in the baby monitor is just like, oh shit. And I bet he was like, oh, yeah, oh. Oh no. Woo! Okay. Do I need to let her mom, my sister, know about this? Should I apologize to her or my niece? Or just let it go? Look, I would be like, hey, I am sorry that you heard. I would just, to the niece, I'd be like, I'm sorry that you heard that. We didn't know. You know what I mean? This was an honest mistake. Sorry. It's not going to happen again. And you leave it at that. You ain't got to go talk to your sister, man, bro. This is going to be out of proportion. And she's going to be like, yo, what the fuck? Like, you let my daughter hear you guys doing all what you're doing? Like, no, you know what I mean? So, yeah, and it's just going to create a lot of issues and misunderstandings and all that kind of stuff. You just tell the niece, because she reached out to you and said, hey, yo, auntie, you know, I heard you slurp-a-derping, you know what I mean? Him slurp-a-derping you, and then the Pound Town and all of the words that came with that, you know what I mean? She, I'm sure, said some stuff like that, and like, hey, heard you, whatever, through the baby monitor, and you just be like, oh my God, I didn't know. It was a total mistake. We thought we were alone. We didn't know that the baby monitor was on and was, you know, transmitting like that. My bad. Apologize. I'm sorry. And you leave it at that, and you move the fuck on, because again, you go and tell the sister and all this, and you know other family members get involved because she want to tell other people. It's just going to create some misunderstanding, and then before you know it, it's going to get so far down the line to the point where the niece was damn near in the room with y'all, you know, and then family members going to be looking at y'all like, oh, they fucked when the niece was in the room, and you're like, no. She was in the other room. It was just a baby monitor. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So, again, it's going to start a lot of misunderstandings. It's going to start a big game of telephone that is going to get all twisted and construed and sounding a lot worse than it actually sounds. So, again, just tell the niece, hey, sorry. My bad. We didn't know. Misunderstanding. And leave it at that. I'm just saying. You let me know what you think about that in the comments, though, because, yeah. Yeah, that's what yeah, girl, you crazy for that one. Man, you know, your husband's a lucky man, though. That's all I gotta say. I mean, just saying. All right. Girls' night out embarrassment. Oh, my wife and two of her oldest friends from back in the day recently got together to have some drinks and catch up with the holidays fast approaching. I had nowhere to be, so I was just around the house trying to not be in the way. They got drinking and gabbing away and reminiscing of the time they all went to a male strip club in their 20s. Oh, baby. They laughed about how her one friend got a dance and the stripper shook his boner in her face while tipping her chair backwards with her in it. My wife and her other friend joked they thought they might need to catch the chair, but were too distracted watching watching the side view of the performance and laughing away. My wife made a comment about, you remember that ginger stripper with the huge mushroom tip, and how she'd never seen one that big. I was a little offended, but was definitely not going to wreck a girls' night being insecure. Yo, my man pulled his dick out at that moment and was just like, I mean, come on, man, mine's a good size. Oh, I already know. My man pulled his meat out and was just like, come on, man, mine's big. Like, this is what? She's told me it's the biggest she's ever had. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I I did, however, blurt out, sounds like you guys want to go back, to which they actually took that idea and ran with it. Oh, I know. He was like, oh, yeah, I was joking. You fucking, you mother, nah, you know what I mean? Next thing you know, I'm driving the three of them to the club. This nigga, bro. Why? Knowing you ain't trying to send your wife to go have a lap dance with Chad Thundercocks and the Tyrones and all that. Like, what are you doing, man? I pulled into the parking lot like a loser. And they all begged me to just come in for a quick drink and we'll all leave. Well, it's a weird environment to sit in, so I ordered a shot to start and then a whiskey on the rocks. Other than all the dicks and hollering women, we kind of just chilled there having some casual drinks. Well, at one point, my wife's friend went to go order another round up at the bar. I guess they thought it would be funny to pay $15 each to get this extremely hung and fit performer to come over and give my wife a dance, even requesting the chair tip for her this time. Yo, they like, hey, give her the bells and whistles, give her the bit, shake that boner, shake that thing in front of her. You know what I mean? Well, they came back, and my wife and I had no clue. About 30 seconds later, boom, this guy is humping the air in front of my wife's face. Full frontal nudity erection. Wow. My man ain't even wearing a Speedo. He is full elephant trunk. This man is full elephant trunk in front of her face. Oh, my God. I bet her mouth was watering. That mouth was watering. She was just like, oh my God. She was out here licking her lips in her chair like, oh my God. Hey. Oh shit. With something like a band tied around the base of his enormous erection, I did my best to be the cool husband, but I know I was blushing like crazy. Nothing serious happened. She spanked his butt on the cheek once, and his dick hit her in the face by accident a couple times. Yeah, I don't think those were accidents, my guy. I think she was leaning into that penis slapping. Come on, man. Let's be real. Dick hit her in the face by accident a couple times in the routine, but it left me embarrassed and definitely feeling weird about being around my wife's friends again now. Just needed to get this off my chest, and thanks. Bro. Oh, man. You better get a fucking ability to go to the strip club with your boys or something like that. I swear to God, bro, I'd be holding this over her. You know what I mean? Like, if me and my boys get drunk and go to a strip club and I have some titties in one hand and a drink in the other hand, or if I got some strip club spaghetti in one hand and I got a fucking booty in my other hand, I don't want to hear it. All right? I don't want to fucking hear it. You got slapped in the face by a mandingo. I don't want to hear it. All right? You get the fuck out of here. You leaned into that man's penis, okay? You leaned into that slapping. You loved it. Your mouth was watering, and I could see it from the bar. It's the glisteningness on the corner of your mouth. I could see it. Stop. Shut up. And don't be mad 'cause I had spaghetti and booty. Like, fuck out of here. Strip club spaghetti is fire, all right? Man, I'm telling you. It's probably the best spaghetti I'd ever had. Man, I remember the first time I ever went to a strip club. It was my 21st birthday, and we got in. And me, I didn't know nothing about strip clubs. I was just like, okay, whatever. And so I'm sitting down, and we're sitting down in the little U-shaped booth. And for some reason, the stripper lady comes over and, she's like, oh, do you guys want drinks or whatever, blah, 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 blah. You guys want drinks, a dance, you want some food? And I'm like, y'all got food? Because I didn't know that. I didn't know they made food. Shit. I was a 21 nothing. You know what I mean? I didn't know shit. And so I was like, y'all got food? And they're like, yeah, I'll bring you a menu. And so she comes back with a menu, and I'm looking through, there's like wings, there's pizza, there's burgers. And I see spaghetti. And I'm like, spaghetti? And so I was like, hey, yo, spaghetti? And she was just like, actually, it's pretty good. And I'm like, yo, give me the spaghetti. She come back, her titties hanging in a tassel and shit, and she hands me my spaghetti. I ate that. I was like, yo, this spaghetti is fire. For some reason, the sauce was just flavorful. The noodles were that nice, soft, consistency. They weren't too hard, but they weren't too like mushy or nothing like that. They had that good consistency to them. The sauce was really good. The meatballs were hearty. I was like, man. You can't get, I've gone to some Italian restaurants in my day, and they ain't got spaghetti like this. I was like, man, I'm looking at some titties. I have some spaghetti. It was a good birthday. I ain't gonna lie to you on that. That was a good ass birthday. Shit. I'm saying though, in this, your wife can't get mad if you go to a fucking strip club with your boys. All right, man. And get some strip club spaghetti. That's all I gotta say. You let me know what you think about it in the comments, though. All right. Am I wrong for expecting some sexual activity while in a long-distance relationship? I mean, the first L right there is you're in a long-distance relationship. I'm sorry. Love who you want to love, but long-distance relationships don't work for a fucking reason. They just don't, bro. They just don't. All right. Me, 29 male, and my fiance. Damn. Y'all engaged? Okay. 27 female, have been together for about 8 years, 6 years dating, 2 engaged. Our relationship is great and we get along incredibly well. Hence why we are getting married. Lol. We met in undergrad and we have been through multiple moves in multiple states together. Sex has always been a minor point of contention. I have a higher sex drive than her, but the disparity is small enough that it has never really caused an issue or anything. It's pretty normal for libidos to not match up perfectly, and our sexual compatibility has been positive overall. A year ago, she got a new job in another state. It was an incredible job, and I am super proud of her. Unfortunately, I still have 3 more years of grad school at an amazing institution, top 10 in the country/world, and there isn't really an equivalent to transfer to in her city. Okay, so you're going to school for your what was it, undergrad, right? I don't want to mix shit up. I think that's what he said. I think it was his undergrad. Like I said, I don't want to get anything wrong. All right. I never wanted to try long distance before, but she was determined to take this opportunity, and with her career goals, it makes 100% sense. Fast forward to now, we live roughly 5 to 6 hours apart driving with no real means of getting to each other by plane or bus. We see each other maybe once a month if we're lucky and have PTO. The issue is the weeks/months when we do not see each other. Long distance sexual activity has become a huge point of contention. She does not / has never masturbated or diddled herself. She has never had an orgasm and does not like toys. She does not sext and refuses to do phone sex or video calls. Again, she does not masturbate, so it feels pointless to her. No dirty pictures, fantasies, or anything like that. Damn, that sucks. At one point, I suggest trying long-distance Bluetooth sex toys, and she became pretty enticed. I know she does not like toys, but figured it was at least worth trying for our relationship. It is her body, and she can choose what to do with it, but as a sexual person in a borderline asexual long-distance relationship, that is for her career, I feel pretty neglected. I'm not saying she has to be into everything, but am I the asshole for expecting her to at least try new things? Sexting, long-distance toys. I've suggested we see a sex therapist, but she gets kind of uncomfortable with the idea and has recently seemed quite opposed. I am not sure how to feel in this situation or what to do. Well, lucky for you, I've been in this kind of situation. Not long distance, but it's been a situation where my ex-fiance, she never really, did the whole toy thing or like touching herself or anything like that. When you guys do meet each other and see each other, the way you could kind of like get her used to it or, get her maybe familiar with it or whatever is you have her do it kind of while you watch, like while you're there, you know what I mean? So like, say you guys are, making out, having some sexy time, whatever, you tell her like, touch yourself, let me watch you, you know what I mean? And she'll kind of get used to it. You can implement toys and, the little bullet vibrators and stuff like that. And it kind of makes her feel comfortable because she's not doing it alone. She's doing it in your company, and it kind of helps her feel a little more comfortable because you're there. And it can be a little embarrassing, but at the same time, you're there to kind of encourage her that it's not. And you're kind of there to kind of give her the reassurance, because I genuinely think women who are like this, that's what it is. They're kind of embarrassed. They kind of feel like it's stupid and there's kind of no point. And, they're just like, you know what I mean? And there's not really someone there to kind of, make them feel like it's okay and that it's all right. And so I think you could slowly implement it with her like that. So when you do go see her, and like I said, when you guys are about to have your little sexy time, you just tell her like, go ahead. Yeah. And say it all sexy and be like, touch yourself to me, let me watch you, shit like that. Get all low and sultry with it, I'm like, ooh, yeah, baby. And again, you just implement small toys in there. You start with the little bullets, you know what I mean? And then eventually she'll want to go to, penetrative toys and stuff like that. Because you're kind of giving her the reassurance, you're kind of giving her the encouragement to do it. You're making her feel sexy when she does it. So that way, she kind of has a bit of point of reference, or like a bit of like, I guess you could say spank bank with it. I don't know. It's just more of like she's got a bit of encouragement from you, that it is sexy and that it is hot. Because right now she's kind of just like, I don't really see the point in it. Like, it's a little weird and it's embarrassing. And because me and my partner, we've had that, or ex-partner, I should say, we had that talk, and I asked her, I was just like, why is it? And she's just like, oh, I've never seen a point in it. I just always thought it was kind of weird and it just never made sense to me and stuff. And so that's what I would slowly do. Cause we did end up seeing like, I guess you would say, not really a sex therapist, but they're kind of like a sex doctor, and they kind of help you find solutions on how to, be aroused and stay aroused and, stuff like that. And that's what she had suggested, you know what I mean? She was just like, this is how you kind of ease into it and how you guys kind of can, you have to give her a lot of encouragement. You kind of got to give her a lot of reassurance. That way, she feels comfortable because you're doing it with her. She's not doing it alone. And then you're giving her the reassurance that, you are sexy and that this is something that is, turning you on and that you like it. It's kind of like, action with association a bit. And that way she can kind of have, the association with the action. So that way when she does do it, it's like, and then she might be open to, doing it on a video call and stuff like that. I'm not a big proponent in sending nudes. I always say to women, do not send nudes, even if the dude's your boyfriend. I don't give a fuck, just because that kind of stuff can get out, or it can get leaked, or, people, what I mean? Like a friend of his might go through his phone and see these pictures and be like, ooh, send them to himself real quick and delete the messages and stuff. It's a little too messy. And that's why I don't really like to do that. Even the girls that I date, they try to send me a sexy picture or whatever. And I'm like, no, don't do that. You know what I mean? Don't do that. We can FaceTime and you can do a little sexy something for me. But other than that, no, just because, again, I just don't want to even play with that. You know what I mean? And for me, I'm not that type of dude that's going to threaten her with like, oh, I'll send your nudes out and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? For me, it's more of the like, if, say somebody has my phone and they see it and they send it to themselves, you know what I mean? And then they do that kind of shit. But you never know with other guys, they hold it over you. We've had that happen on the show multiple times. where there was a girl who, she sent nudes or whatever and stuff like that to a guy she was talking to. And then he kind of like, I don't want to say blackmailed, but he used them against her. Like, oh, you can't stop liking me because I have pictures of your booty and all that kind of stuff. And so, that's why I always kind of advocate for that. I'm just like, eh. But yeah, that's something you, like I said, you could try. You guys let me know the advice you would give him. How would you, bridge this gap of them being long distance and obviously him being in school and her working and them not being able to see each other, because it could get to a point where if he doesn't get this situated, he might cheat and it might push him. There might be so much buildup going on and the sexual frustration, he might just like find some girl he ain't even attracted to and bust nuts in her, and it's like, then he cheats. And it's like, so, yeah. All right. You guys let me know what you think, though. On to the next one. All right. This is going to be our last one for today. My friend hasn't been talking to me since we've had sex. Uh-oh. Oh, shit. Okay. I met my friend about 2 years ago. From the get-go, I liked her. She didn't feel the same, but I remained flirty with her. FYI, I didn't wait for her or anything. I dated around. So recently we were watching a movie at her place. We both got closer, and one thing led to another. Some info on her: she's never actually had a relationship before, and she's pretty religious. I don't know if she was a virgin, as I didn't think it was my place to ask. I did ask twice right before we had sex if she was okay with this. She told me yes. By the way, neither of us were drunk or anything. Alcohol actually gets her sick. I slept over, and in the morning she was rather cold. She didn't want to talk about it. She needed to get ready for an event she had later that day. It's been like 3 weeks now, and she hasn't been answering my texts or calls. I do really like her, but I'm both sad and upset about this. I don't know. Should I let her go? Yeah, you probably do. It's been 3 weeks. Yeah. Personally, it's one of those things where I would leave the door open and walk away from it. And what I mean by that is, you don't send her some text talking about like, oh, I never want to talk to you ever again since you seem like you don't want to talk to me anymore. Like, forget you and all that. Don't do any of that, because some guys feel the need to do that. And it's just like, no. You leave the door open and you walk away. Like you said, you didn't wait for her in the beginning. You dated around, you did the thing. So you keep doing that. You date around, you do your thing, you get in the gym, you live your life, you post on Instagram, whatever the case may be. And if she decides to come back and be in your life, great. If she doesn't, then it's like, it is what it is. We had that great friendship, and then we had that amazing moment, and you just kind of cherish it, throw it in the spank bank, and use it for when you beat your meat, and just live your life, brother. It is what it is. It's the way it goes. I've had these moments happen before where I'm talking to a girl and everything seems great, and then, we end up doing the horizontal monster mash, and then all of a sudden she's just like, it's like an immediate regret comes over her, and she's just like, oh, fuck, and stops talking to me. And for me, I just kind of accept it. I'm like, damn, it's been this long. And sure, I'll reach out and try to, hey, is everything good? Like, what's up? What's going on? And if I don't get anything back, I don't get anything back. And it's just like, oh, well, I'm going to move on. I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to be happy and figure out my life, because you can't just put your life on pause because somebody else is, not wanting to contact you or talk to you or anything like that. You just have to kind of sit there and say, it is what it is. It happens. You move on, you leave the door open, and you walk away from it. And that's kind of the thing that I've done. And they do come around, a lot of times, the girl does come around and she's just like, hey, or she'll do a little, hey, stranger, or something like that. And, you guys can catch up, and it'll, I guess to her, it kind of feels like enough time has passed for her to kind of get over it. And, sometimes it takes, her getting a boyfriend in order for her to want to contact you back to be friends. Like, you just never know. And it's up to you if you want to reinitiate that contact or not, because you never know where you're at in your life. You might find a girl and, you might be all about her, and then this girl comes back and, tries to throw shit out of whack, and you're like, no, I can't do this. Or you're just like, oh, I want to. And that's just how you deal with that. But all I'm saying is, in this situation, the best thing to do is just leave the door open and walk away and just, do your thing, brother. Do your thing. But that's going to go ahead and be today's episode. You guys let me know what you think about that scenario, as well as all the scenarios we've gone through today, as well as the thread that we went over. And leave it all down in the comments. I love reading you guys' comments. I love when you guys, have your little criticisms and you have your, things that you say that you enjoy, or you just whatever you guys want to comment. I love it down there. All right. I'll see you guys on Thursday for Haunting Adeline. I know last week we kind of got left on a bit of a cliffhanger. I am upset as much as you guys. Don't worry. I don't know what happened next. I read the book along with you guys. Off camera, I do not read the book. I do not go ahead. I don't do any of that. I follow it along with you guys. Okay? So, I'm excited because I want to see what our boy Zaid has found out, after he was punching the wall a bunch of times. You know what I mean? But we'll go ahead and see what happens on Thursday. I look forward to it. I believe it's chapters 11 and 12. So definitely be there or be square. And I love you guys all. I'll see you on Thursday. Peace.